Hi everyone, my name is Audrey Vardaniga. I'm the Artistic Director of Musaics of the Bay, and I'm delighted to feature our 43rd Stay-at-Home Symposium premiere, featuring composer Natsumi Osborn, violist Nicholas Gallitano, cellist Julia Weldon, and a Meiji pot submitted by antique steeler Adam Irish. Natsumi wrote a new piece for viola, cello, and electronics, inspired by a Meiji pot, submitted by Adam Irish, an antique steeler based in Providence, Rhode Island.
My name is Adam Irish, and I'm an antique dealer. When Natsumi Osborn said she was looking for a Japanese object that reflected her own cross-cultural roots in Japan and the United States, I immediately thought of this antique Meiji-era tokonami terracotta pot. Dating to the late 19th century, the piece embodies the opening of Japan to international trade and its export of goods to satisfy the American and European fascination with Japanism, the period's obsession with Japanese aesthetics. Collectors of traditional Japanese art often turn away from Meiji period objects of this kind, which although frequently are of superb craftsmanship, they were designed to satisfy Western conceptions of Japan rather than authentic Japanese craft. But as an antique dealer, I am interested in this piece precisely for that reason. It gives shape to the cross-cultural aesthetics emerging 150 years ago. Its cloud-threaded dragon, neither quite Japanese nor Western, but somewhere in between, traversing the continents of the globalized world we live in today. It's also simply an exquisite object, and Natsumi's composition captures both its beauty and meaning, as I could never do in words alone. The tokonami pot is available for purchase. Please see more photos in my online store at oldasadam.com or on my Instagram account at oldasadam.
Hello, my name is Natsumi Osborn. I'm a composer, and I'm so excited to share this piece I wrote called Improvised Meditation for Viola, Cello, and Electronics. I was so thrilled to work with Adam Irish for this project. He is an antique dealer, and months ago he presented to me a pot that he had collected, an Meiji pot from Japan, created in the mid-19th century, that Adam had found in an estate sale of the Walgreen Summer Home in New Hampshire. And I was particularly thrilled to collaborate with him and to work on a piece inspired by this artifact because of the immense historical significance and weight that the pot holds and represents. I've always been really interested in Japanese history, and the Meiji era in particular was a pivotal time in Japan. There was huge social political change, and a lot of historians call the era following the Meiji restoration in the mid-19th century an era of modernization and westernization of Japan, as there was a huge trade of ideas and knowledge, culture, and art that ensued. And so, of course, this created pivotal change in the arts and music as well. So I had always been interested in trying to examine music history in Japan and understanding how the role of music has changed. And so I was particularly thrilled for this project because working with this artifact obviously offered me a very different perspective and a lens through which to think about history and to think about the role of art through history and in society. And in particular, this pot, it's incredible to think about how the pot has lived for 250 years, and it's seen so much change. Obviously, also spanning geography. It was originally created in Japan and then eventually imported to the United States. And I was so in awe of how much this pot has lived and has breathed, and I think that's what really inspired the piece I wrote based on it, the improvised meditation. The piece I wrote doesn't really have a narrative arc, but it's rather quite an immersive soundscape, and what I wanted to do was sort of capture the very pensive experience I had, or the reaction I had initially to experiencing and to seeing the pot itself, and to really think about all of the history that the pot has seen and that it carries with it. So I hope you enjoy the piece. I should also add that the piece was inspired also by music by Japanese composers of the last 100 years who have infused sort of their interest in Japanese traditional music with those of classical contemporary music. And so this was a really exciting project, and I felt like it was a bridge of my musicological interests as well as my musical interests, and of course the interest in the artifact itself and the historical side of things. So I hope you enjoy it. Big thanks to Julia and Nicholas for collaborating with me on this project and for putting this piece together. And I hope you enjoy the work. Thank you.